50 Cent has been very open about why he distanced himself from Diddy. He once described a moment that made him uncomfortable, saying it felt off and made him step back.
Now, I explained why I didn't hang out with him, right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was asking to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. Now, like, and when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter. Like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability.
While 50 Cent was keeping his distance, Meek Mill was doing the opposite. He was showing up in matching outfits with Diddy, going on shopping trips, and attending parties together.
We do this for our family, our sons, whatever they taught us in the streets. We grew up looking up to I looked up like Papa, I was on TV, I was so far gone. We grew up looking up to on a corner that was on a corner for 25 years.
50 Cent even mocked the situation, pointing out that Meek seemed to get closer to Diddy right around the time those invitations were extended.
Yeah, you see, now Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop. This is really happening. I'm just saying to you. No, stop it, man. You set that up. Look, you set that up. He's in the same shirt.
What do you mean he's in the same shirt?
I obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. This is what I'm saying, bro. You go, I'm like, nah, it was odd. Like, this is some of the things that people say, like, girls, guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think's happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on.
Wow, they found Kendrick and Wifey.
But this wasn't just about fashion or parties. It was about how close they really got. According to people close to 50, Meek didn't just hang with Diddy, he leaned all the way in. And that's where the whole man card talk from Terrence Howard comes back in. In his interview, Terrence explained that giving up your manhood for a deal or opportunity leaves a scar that don't heal.
There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head, you know. But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Cat Williams echoed a similar message when he said he had to turn down $50 million on 4 separate occasions just to protect his integrity. He even claimed that refusing Diddy's sexual advances was part of that decision.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
Then came the real plot twist. Lil Rod, who used to work closely with Diddy, filed a lawsuit. In it, he said Diddy was messing and funding a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj and did the Super Bowl with a Vegas residency. That's Meek, no guessing. Not long after, a leaked audio clip started circulating online. The voices in the recording were allegedly Meek and Diddy caught mid-act. The bodyguard who recorded and leaked the audio said it happened during one of Diddy's freak-off parties. He said Diddy intentionally spiked everyone's drinks at the party so they would be too high and drunk to know what was going on.
Like, all the champagne was spiked. Everybody was passed the fuck out. I don't drink, so I was playing that off like I don't drink. I smoke. Like, I smoke and I had my own weed, but like everybody was passed out. Yo, Diddy had that man in the room. Look, yes, I put my ear to the door and I brought the phone because Diddy started going in overdrive. I ain't know what the was going on, but I just heard balls slapping against cheeks. I heard struggling to take. I heard being like, yeah, daddy. Like when he started all that daddy this and daddy that, and then I heard some hollering and struggling like, yeah, I kept the phone there and I recorded all this. because I was like, this Diddy.
Everybody kind of knew back in the day that Meek Mills and Puff was a little too friendly. Anytime two rappers or two people in the industry come dressed up alike on more than one occasion.
The timeline, the personal connections, and Meek's decision to suddenly go silent about it all started to add up. Now Meek has been posting about being a king from the trenches, talking global influence, and saying folks trying to silence him. But it feels like a man trying to protect an image, not fight off a lie. Then there's Orlando Brown. Yeah, he's been painted as unstable, but his old rants about Hollywood don't sound so crazy now. Orlando has been talking about dark rooms and real foul stuff for years that goes on in these celeb mansions for years. In fact, people like Cat Williams and Jaguar Wright allege that it's because of the trauma that he endured behind the scenes, Orlando acts the way he does.
Jaleel, you know?
Right. So can you tell us like what stuff he used to do to you?
Just call me names. And then give me rides on the scooter and then take me in the Ferrari and fly me away and then gas me up and then be like, you poor.
According to several sources close to Orlando, he might be pretending to act unstable just to stay safe. Jaguar Wright even said that Orlando's playing crazy just to stay safe. And if you really pay attention to the things he says, you'll notice he's sharp.
Orlando's brilliant.
Right.
Yeah,
Y'all spent time with him.
we did.
Yeah.
He's highly intelligent.
Yes.
Imagine what it's been like to wear this character for this long.
No, I can only.
That he does is a character. Actually, the shit he does online is the best acting he does.
Is he speaking truth?
Of course he is.
That's what led one user following Orlando's interviews to say, I believe he plays this crazy role so he can say what he wants and people think he joking, but in actuality, he telling the truth. In one of his more recent interviews, he didn't just say Diddy did him dirty. He hinted that Diddy made him sleep with multiple rappers. And he named names too. Busta Rhymes, Bow Wow, Usher, and even Drake got mentioned.
How did you feel when you saw this lawsuit that made it seem as if perhaps Diddy and Meek Mill has...
I mean, to each their own, and why would they not have sex when they're gay rappers?
They.